Okay, yay, I did it. Okay, so how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You're doing good? Okay,
Yeah.
so can you tell me what you know? Let's start off with who your parents are, what your name is, when your birthday is, like your full name.
One second. I'm ordering something. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
I didn't.
okay.
I didn't know that we were gonna do this. I thought you just wanted to talk, but that's fine because I'm gonna have a little bit of time. My son, I'm taking him to get a haircut at 3, so we got a little bit of time to kill.
Okay, good. I talk real fast, so we'll be done real quick.
Yep. Okay. So you said start off with my who my parents are.
Yeah, who are your parents? Yes.
Okay, so my parents are Tommy Cabrera and Tammy Cabrera.
Okay.
Yeah, and my dad is on the side of the Cabreras. He's and his father is Thomas Cabrera.
Thomas Cabrera. He's one of the original. I believe it was 8 of the original Cabreras, or was it 9? I think it was 9.
Yeah, it was 8 or 9.
Okay. And now, so my goal is not only to document what we all know, but also to get to know what became of the descendants of Rosalio and Adela. You know, what their efforts put forward, and how you're doing in life now, because we've come such a long way. So can you tell me about anything you might know offhand, what you do know about your descendants of do you
I
know anything about the bakery?
I don't know anything about the bakery. Not a lot. I do. When I first joined Facebook, I heard about it. I didn't. My dad never really. He never really. Not that he didn't get into it, but he didn't. He didn't talk to me a lot about that. It was when I started getting older and I started. I was curious on my own. And more than anything, it's been probably like the past 6 or 7 years when I've been getting a lot closer to Theo Charlie, and he he's been giving me a lot of information. But I know it's been something that's been in our family for a long time, uh, and that's pretty much about all I know about it.
Okay, no, that's perfectly fine. We're finding out about you too, because you're important too. We're all very important. We're all pieces of the puzzle here. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Oh yes, it's so important. Can you tell me about a person who's been the kindest to you in your life?
The kindest to me.
Yes, that you can think of. It doesn't even have to be a Cabrera, just like someone you feel like, oh, that really impacted you as a kind person.
Yeah, I would say that my grandfather Thomas Cabrera, he's somebody that I've always looked up to. He's a hard working man ever since that I can remember when I was younger. He was just he's always a hard worker. Anybody around the little town that where we're from, Belglade. Not that he's popular, but everybody knows him for being a hardworking, honest man. So he's really impacted my life. Somebody that I strive to be like.
Oh, okay. And what's something that he's imparted onto you that like a saying or something, like when you think of your grandfather, you're like, oh yeah, that's something. Like for example, my grandfather, he passed in July, and he would always tell us, it doesn't matter what you're doing, even if you're digging a hole, you dig the best hole you can. And that's something I'm always gonna carry with me. Did he ever have like, an analogy or something like that?
He didn't have it. He's a real quiet person, and it's crazy because we're all kind of the same way. We're not really, not that it's that we're not outgoing, but he's really he does more with his actions instead of his words. The way he leads by example instead of what his words. So I really can't think of one thing. It was more just as I was growing him up, watching him watching the way that he carried himself, the way that he took care of his family, and that was his most important thing, and just being an honest, hardworking man.
Wonderful. I love that. Okay. Now, can you tell me one of your happiest memories?
One of my happiest memories would probably be uh I would say it was when we had a little family reunion. It was actually for my abuela that just passed away last year. It was for her birthday, and everybody kind of got together, and that was I was older, but it was something that we did it as a small group, just us that lived there in Florida, but I got to meet a lot of my family that I didn't know, or I hadn't seen in a long time. So I know it's not in a distant memory, but that's something that even before you asked me, that's something that I think back, and it was one of the last times that we got together, and I know she with my abuela, and I know she was that was something that made her happy. So off the top of my head, because there's a lot there's a lot of them, but I would say off the top of my head that would probably be the one that pops up first.
Okay, thank you. And now, can you tell me about one of your most difficult memories?
My most difficult memories was last year. My and just in about 6 to 9 months, and I may be a little bit off on that, but we lost my abuela, we lost my tío Meme Manuel Cabrera, and then my tia Nani,
Mm.
which they all lived there in Belle Glade. They all lived right next. They lived on the same street, three houses in a row. And I just remember being young, and I would take the bus there, you know, get off there and go see all of them after school, and just to know that they're gone now. All of them. That was pretty hard time.
Of course, especially if you saw them every day. I understand completely. Let's see. And now, can you tell me somebody you're always going to remember?
Somebody that I'm always going to remember. I mean, obviously all of them, but I was really close to my grandmother on my mom's side.
Oh.
Her name was Irene Garza, and as a matter of fact, her and Huela Cabrera, Jesusa, they were really good friends.
Oh, I love that. Families coming
Yeah.
together.
Yep.
That's rare.
So
That's rare.
yeah, they were really good friends. But me and her were really close. So that's I wouldn't say that in front of my other grandma or my abuela, but yeah, that's who comes to mind first.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. And what do you feel most grateful for in your life?
For my family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for my family, the values that my family growing up instilled in me, and for my family now. I'm married. I have 3 kids. So all together, my family.
Okay. And what are some of the most important lessons you've learned in life up until this point?
Probably the learn from your mistakes. Uh, um, being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think what else. Like, you kind of got me on the spot.
It's
But
okay.
yeah.
We can circle back.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to circle back and give me a chance to think about that.
Yeah. Let's see. How has your life been different than what you'd imagine? As a child, we have expectations, and then in adulthood, we come into ourselves and we become proud of our accomplishments. How has your life been different than what you'd imagine?
I can't remember ever when I was younger thinking about how I was going to be as an adult. I really had a good childhood. I really didn't grow up, too fast for the most part when I was younger. Especially, preteens, and I never really thought about that. But I would say if it's something that I didn't expect was of course me being a father, having 3 kids, and just how they have impacted my life. And I just kind of I always think like how life would be without them. So I would say different, maybe growing up I never thought about that, being married, having a family, and now doing that, and seeing how much knowing how much I love it. So I would probably say just that is my greatest accomplishment.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Do you have any regrets?
No, I don't. I don't have any. Well, I mean, I would, if I had one regret, it would probably be, during my younger years, I would have wanted to start to, be more involved with my family. I was younger, and I wasn't thinking about that. I was always worried about hanging out with my friends, or what would the next fun thing was to be. And now, now that, I mean, I know Theo Charlie said that he told you this, that some of the older generation, one day they're here and the next day they may not be here. And I kind of see that now, because in just the last year or so, like I said, we've been hit hard, not only on my dad's side, on the Cabrera side, but also on my mom's side. And we've lost quite a few family members. And if I had one thing that I can go back and do, was probably the way that I am now, is more involved with my family, trying to organize get-togethers and stuff like that. But the rest of it, like I said, I really enjoyed my childhood, and I feel like it made me who I am.
Okay. And for future generations of your family listening to this years from now, is there any wisdom you'd want to pass on to them? Like, what would you want them to know?
I'd want them to know that from what I take from the Cabrera family is, we take a lot of pride, not just, pride that some people have with their last name, pride and backing up that pride, like I was telling you about my grandfather, being an honest person, doing right by people, being a hard worker, do what you have to for your family, and just like the regret that I was telling you is don't wait, start getting involved and getting close to your family, knowing, like me and you've never met before, so just getting that opportunity to meet your family that may not live near you, or you don't talk to all the time, but having that opportunity, like family reunions and stuff like that, and getting together, so that way it's something that more than anything, so you're when you get older, your kids, that's something that they know. It's always beautiful to see a big family getting together.
Mhm. Okay. And you mentioned your childhood. What was your childhood like? I know you said it was happy.
Yeah, I lived around a lot of I have a lot of cousins, and we all lived right, in the same town. It was a small little town called Belglade. It's in South Florida, and yeah, I mean, when you have on both sides, it was probably anywhere from 10 to 12 cousins that are right around your age. You're only a couple years apart. I mean, we were always on our bikes all day playing football, playing baseball, whatever kind of sports, going to the store, going to see our grandma, or stopping by there, and just holidays, we would all get together. I remember one thing that's real big in the Cabrera family is cooking out. I mean, that's one thing that I loved about that we would always get together, and there would be something on the grill, and just all my uncles, I've always looked up to them, and I just remember growing up and them all being around. So yeah, that's what I remember most about it. It was just a lot of love, a lot of family, and we were always there around each other. So you weren't ever by yourself.
Okay. And do you know how your parents met?
Exactly. I'm trying to think. I want to say that I do know, but yeah, they again, I know I keep saying it, but it's a really small town there. My mom's father, which I didn't meet, he passed away. So my grandfather on my mom's side, he passed away when she was younger. Her and my great grandfather Francisco, they were good friends. Like I told you, then my grandma Irene Garza on my mom's side was good friends with my abuela Jesusa, and so they knew each other. So the whole family, like all of my uncles and aunts, knew all of my mom and her brothers and sisters. You knew all of her brothers and sisters. So I don't think that they really met, like, they were at some place, or and then they ended up meeting. They already knew each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see. And how did you and your wife meet?
Me and my wife met. We were at it was actually my sister's graduation.
Okay.
And she graduated from the same school, and actually her brother and my sister dated before we got married. So yeah, and they're younger than us.
Oh.
Yeah, they're younger than us, and I knew of her family. We because this is when I moved to Georgia. That's where my dad moved to. When I was younger, and they most of the Mexican Americans that lived there, they were all either crew leaders, or they worked for on some kind of farm there. And her family, her grandpa did the same thing. So we never met. Out of all those years, we never met. And then we kind of went our separate ways. She got out of that town. I got out of that town also, moved back to Florida, and then my sister graduated, and she ended up going to the graduation too with her mom, and we ended up meeting there, and yeah, and her cousin was actually working for me, so I was trying to get her cousin to put in a good word for me, and I ended up getting her phone number, and we started talking, and the rest is history.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm going to move into asking about family life and raising children. When did you first find out that you'd be a parent, and how did you feel?
I found out, so I have a 15-year-old, Noah, and that was what, 2000, and so it was around 2004. Yeah, because he was in October, so it was right at the beginning of 2005. So I was I was worried. I was scared. I was in, that was what I'm I'm really bad with math. So I was born in 82, so 92, 2002, I was 24 years old then.
Mhm.
Um, and I had, before that, I had no kind of responsibility, so I was living my life like a 22 or 23-year-old would. And yeah, I was really worried, but I always say this about all my kids. They've all helped me kind of grow up. Noah was, he really taught me how to be a father, because it was, of course, he was my first one, and that's something that I, even at his age, I made a lot of mistakes, but I never made a mistake on being a father. I've always been there. I've always tried to instill good values into him. Um, so so yeah, it was scary. It was definitely scary, but after that, and I'm not trying to brag, but I think I do a pretty good job at being I think I was made to be a father.
Oh, so relatable. When I tell that to people, they're like, "You're weird."
Yeah, no, I really feel like that, and I don't like. I'm not trying to brag, but I get, a lot of people tell me how
Hey,
good of a
yeah.
father that I am, and it does feel good when you're being told that, but I'm kind of like, yeah, I know. I mean, I don't tell them that, but I think to
Yeah.
myself, yeah, I know, but it's all about the work you put in. I
It's
mean,
just
what?
such a wonderful feeling, and it's a blessing. Children are such a blessing, and especially when they're yours, it's just so great.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hey, can you describe the moment when you saw your child for the first time?
Oh, every single one of them, I cried. Yeah,
Oh.
it was it was pretty amazing, honestly. It was pretty amazing. I mean, I'll be honest with you, after doing it three times, going through it three times, I do remember, because I still have pictures and I have memory. So I don't know that exact feeling with Noah, but then we had Isaiah, and just recently we had our first little girl, Avery, um, and yeah, you would think that after three, you'd be like, okay, this is, I'm already used to this, but no, it got me every single time. So it I was just, I know I was just happy, just full of joy, just so happy that that I was blessed with him, and that's with all my kids. So I was, yeah, I was. I can't tell you exactly, because, like I said, the ones I remember are recent, but I know it wasn't any different. I love all my kids the same.
Okay. And what are your dreams for your children?
Um, well, I want them to always put God first. That's the most important thing. That they never get away from that. And that they're just not just successful financially, but successful doing something that they love, that they're able to, that they're not uh having to work so hard, and not, and work so hard just to provide for their family, doing something that they love, and still being able to have that time. I started two businesses, and that was one of the main reasons that I did it, was because I wanted that freedom to be able to spend time with my family. And I want them to I want them to be successful in that way, because it's not all about money. It's about what you have. Like the people that you have around you, and that's what I hope for them is that they're successful in that way, so they can enjoy the joy that I have now, being able to spend all the time with them.
Okay. And I'm going to go into marriage and partnerships now. I know you told me how you met your wife, but how did you know she was the one?
Well, I mean, I know this is probably like a cliche answer, but it's very true when they say when you find the one, it's that's the one. I just knew when I first saw her, when I first met her. I'm usually not a shy person. I'm not very outgoing, but I'm usually not, like kind of standoffish or shy. But I kind of felt like that, and I kept thinking, man, why was I probably was acting. I was acting real weird because, I was barely talking or anything. And then she told me, when we went to go have dinner afterwards that, I was sitting over there by myself because I was kind of nervous. I didn't know why I was nervous, but after I thought about it for a little while, I knew what it was. But yeah, you just it's kind of hard to explain. You just know, you just get that feeling, and then when it doesn't go away, even after 3 kids and so many years of marriage, then you kind of it kind of solidifies it that okay, I was right. It wasn't just it was somebody that you were infatuated with, that seeing a pretty girl or a good looking guy. It was it was real. So I just had those feelings. I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to get to know her, and like that's probably the best way that I can explain it, because it's something that you feel inside.
Okay. And how did you propose?
We went on a dinner cruise for Valentine's Day. And I took her on a dinner cruise for Valentine's Day over on the in Tampa Bay, and I proposed there. So I was able to set it up with the cruise, and they had a top deck, and we were sitting down for dinner, and we had just gotten our drinks, and they had already told me how to do everything, and we got our drinks, and as soon as we got our drinks, I said, well, let's go check out the boat, and we went up there, and we were out there by ourselves, and they had people hiding behind with cameras, and I proposed to her out there.
Okay. And what were the best times?
The best times with my wife?
Yes.
Yeah. The best times, well, I don't want to sound, because we have good times now. It's kind of hard to imagine. It's kind of hard to imagine us without kids, because it's so much fun with kids now. I'd be lying if I say I don't like for us to have, times to ourselves, which we don't get a lot, but it's kind of hard to imagine, because like I said, like I feel like I was made to be a parent, so I love doing stuff as a family. But if I would say would just me and my wife, would be when we first met. I mean, like I said, we didn't have any kind of other responsibility, so we were always going out and doing fun stuff, going to baseball games, going to football games. She likes sports a lot. I love sports, and we would always we just always find fun things to do. So not sounding like I don't because like I said, I have fun with my kids, but the best times that was just me and my wife was, that time where we were just carefree.
Okay. Do you have any advice for young couples?
Um, yeah, yep. You gotta, you gotta, commitment's a big thing, and there's gonna be hard times. There's gonna be a lot of hard times, but, and this day and age, it's easy for couples to split up, but everybody, no matter what relationship you're in, you're always going to find something in somebody that, not that you don't like, but that just not going to mesh with you. Not everybody's not going to be perfect, but you got to find that person that's worth looking past that, just if you make that commitment, you make that commitment to God. He doesn't make mistakes. He put you together for a reason, and if you see it through all the bad times, the other end is very beautiful.
Hmm. Do you have any favorite stories from your marriage, or about your wife?
Let me think. We have a lot of a lot of cool experiences that we had. I mean, I guess one would be, we always end up in these kind of situations that turn out like kind of romantic scenes out of a movie. It's kind of crazy to say, but like we went to Stone Mountain, Georgia. I don't know if you've heard of that. And it's this big mountain, and they were doing a fireworks show there, and we ended up going inside, and it was so packed, and there was hardly nowhere to sit. There were so many people, and so we were like, what are we gonna do? So we're gonna end up leaving, and we were just like, let's just go. This is too packed. There's nowhere to sit. So we ended up walking out, and we got lost on the way out, and we found it was like this offset part of the mountain, but it was it was lower than the rest of the mountain, and as soon as we started getting up there, we saw the fireworks, and we had like the best view in the house, and it was just us.
Oh, okay. And now I'm gonna get into like your work life. So, what do you do for a living?
So I've been for 16 years. I've been in the water treatment industry, like residential and commercial water treatment. I do like drinking water filtration systems.
Mhm.
Yeah. So for the past 10 years, I've the first 6 years I worked for a company called Culligan, and that's where I kind of learned everything. I started out from doing the grunt work, digging holes and installing systems, and then I worked my way up, and I got into sales with that company, and then for about a year and a half, during the recession, the 2008, it kind of took a hit on that industry, and my dad has been doing crew leading, and he told me I could come work with him. Well, I tried it out for about a year, a little over a year, and it just wasn't for me. It was a lot of traveling. So I came back to Florida, and I ended up working two jobs. I worked a job at night as a warehouse manager, and then during the day I was working part-time for a commercial drinking water system company. So that part-time turned into full-time, and I ended up getting out of the warehouse job. So that part-time turned into full-time, and then I ended up becoming partner with that company. Throughout the years with that company, I had my commercial customers that would be interested in getting their home water filtered. So I was kind of doing it on the side, and then once it started growing, I ended up opening up Central Florida Water Solutions, which is my own company, and that's what I've been doing. So a little break in between, not long, but water treatment is my livelihood.
Okay. And what lessons has your work life taught you?
It's taught me how to I'm sorry about that. My little boy just woke up.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. It taught me just how to be patient. You always, I mean, anybody, going into any kind of job, they always look at what's the next level, how am I going to move up, and going from the very bottom and then to owning your own company. It's taught me a lot of patience, a lot of hard work. Isaiah, Daddy's on the phone, baby. And a lot of hard work. So, just sticking through it, whenever you do that and you build something on that's yours, it's a great feeling.
Okay. And were you formally educated? Because that was a very strong desire of Rosalio and I believe Theo Charlie.
Yeah. So, what do you mean by formally educated?
Were you able to receive a higher level of education beyond high school?
Well, I didn't. I ended up going to college, and I was going to get my AA for construction management, and I ended up finding a job that paid really good money at that time. So, I did finish high school. I have some college, but I didn't finish it because I was ready to work. I was ready to just to get out there and get in the workforce and start making money and start figuring out what I wanted to do.
Mhm. Okay. Well, you come from a long line of business owners. I don't blame you. It's in your blood. Let's see.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And I know baby Isaiah is awake, so I'm just gonna kind of brush over your religion. Just a few questions real quick. What are your religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs, or like what is your religion in general, just for the record?
Well, I grew up as Catholic. My grandmother always made me go to church, and I did my communion, I did my confirmation, I was an altar boy. I was there every Sunday, every Wednesday. But as I got older, I kind of got out of the Catholic religion. So I would say that my religion now is non-denominational. I feel like I have a very good relationship with God. I mean, any time it could be better, but I feel like I'm working at that. My family, we pray every morning, we pray every night, we pray over our food. As a matter of fact, my 3-year-old he takes the lead now because that's what he's been taught since he was a kid. But when we're sitting there praying, he takes the lead and he starts praying. So my beliefs in religion is it's just kind of a way to separate you in a group. I feel like I believe in God. That's my religion. I don't associate myself to one group or one name. I believe in God. The church that we go to, they're the same way. It's called Free Life Chapel. There's no certain religion in there. They're Christians. They believe in God. And so I know I wish I could give you one one word answer, but I really don't have a religion.
No, that's beautiful. I love how you get into detail and you're talking to me. You're being very open, and it's great for the interview. Have you experienced any miracles?
Yeah, I have. The one thing that I always go back to, I wouldn't say that it's a miracle, but my grandma, like I said, she always made sure that we were in church, even when I was older. I talked to her, this is my grandma Irene from my mom's side. I talked to her once or twice a week, and I feel so bad because I didn't do that with my abuela, with my grandma now, my dad's mom. But like I said, me and her, we had a really, really strong relationship. And even when I was older, she would, when I would call her, she would talk to me. She knew I didn't go to church, and she would just tell me, talk to me about God. And I know a lot of her prayers for me, were helped me out a lot, even if I didn't know what she was saying. I just have that feeling. But on her, not that I didn't believe in God, because like I said, I went to church. I knew there was a reason, but I was young at the time. But on her actual deathbed, she was on the hospital bed, and it was about 30 seconds before she passed away. We were all around her bed, and I was holding her hand. Everybody was kind of touching her, and she was going in and out, and she said, I want to tell you all that God just said that he loves all of you. And then, like, right after those words, she passed away.
Wow. Let me see. Thank you for sharing that. I'm just trying to get in line with the other questions I had.
Yeah, so I'm sorry I had to take a little break because I got choked up on that. I always do when I tell that story, but that really brought me closer to God after experiencing that.
That's a miracle in and of itself. Okay. Well, this interview has meant so much to me. Thank you for letting me interview you. If there's any stories that you can think off the top of your head that you might want to share that you'd like me to document for the future, even just I know you have so many happy memories, but if anything stands out, give me a call, shoot me a text, or when you have more time, any information you want me to store, just have it down. Definitely.
And if I can help out with anything over here, because I know you're in Texas, and if there's anything I can help out with over here and I'm able to do it, like I said, I have my own business, so I stay pretty busy, but if there's anything I can do, let me know. And also, if you're planning on traveling, to go see different family members, and you need help, with the expenses and stuff like that, do not hesitate to contact me.
Oh, thank you for offering. And again, thank you for giving me your time. I know I'm your family, but I'm still a stranger, and it's just so nice meeting you and for you making the time for me.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy how all of my family, the ones that I don't meet, we just whenever we either talk or we see each other in person, it's like we knew each other, forever. It's kind of crazy how that works out. But definitely, yeah, no, what you're doing is pretty amazing. I cannot wait to see what, when it's, I know it's not going to be ever all done. Hopefully this carries on, but when it's when most of it's complete, and be able to see the final product.
Of course. Okay. Well, you have a good day.
You too, Celeste. It was nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you. Bye, Tommy.
Okay, bye.